Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your past life connection spread for the month of August. For those of you who are just now tuning in, these are generalized readings, so not everything in the reading may pertain to you. I am available to answer any questions as well as to do private readings and can be reached at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. So the first card in the spread is the Seven of Wands, and this touches on your past life connection, and this touches with dealing with the energy where you both felt as hard as you had to fight to get to where you are or were, that it was a constant state and that there was no moving ahead within this type of space. Now, the next card is the Four of Pentacles, and this touches on the spiritual lesson. And this has to do with being protective of thyself, being protective of your partner. And I really think that in this energy, a huge theme within this past life is protection and always feeling as if you had to fight and struggle. It wasn't a healthy type of lifestyle. Now, the next card is the Three of Wands, and this touches on how you connected with this other person. And when we're dealing with this type of energy, this is all about somebody who is continuing to put forth the hard work and always wanting to learn and continue to better themselves. But I see this type of energy as feeling as if you constantly felt like you were at the very beginning. You know, the feeling that I'm getting in regards to this type of life is almost as if you were a hamster in a hamster wheel where you're moving so fast, yet you're just simply not getting anywhere. So I think that this has to do with a feeling of not progressing, but things constantly staying the same, even though you had to put forth a tremendous amount of work. Like you were just barely floating to stay, afloat in the water. Now, the next card is the Eight of Swords, and this touches on the your past life spiritual lesson, and this touches on, again, feeling stuck. And I think that it's another constant theme, where you're staying in the same spot and not being able to move forward. However, with the type of energy that we're dealing with within the Eight of Swords, this has to do with, an acknowledgement that you did have the power to better yourself throughout this. You just failed to see it. And I think that this had to do with maybe a lack of self-worth or a lack of self-confidence in order to continue and move or remove yourself from this situation. Now, the next card indicates how you learned your spiritual lesson. It was a really hard road, really hard, and you had to fight to get to where you were. You were exhausted, but it was through this process that you were able to learn from the strength, because nothing about this situation was easy. All you had was the strength that you two shared together. Now, the next card is the Chariot, and this touches on your current spiritual lesson. This has to do with almost a feeling like it's an invitation to either stay in the current safe space that you are currently in or move forward and trying to better yourselves. Now, the next card is the Devil card. Don't be alarmed by it. It is actually one of my favorite cards within the tarot because, as Lindsay Mack says, it is the most medicinal card in the deck. And this touches on how you're doing in this life. And there are some things that are no longer serving you. There are some things that are holding you back that you just can't seem to release or let go and work through. It's toxic. It's no longer serving you. And this is an invitation from the universe to say, I need to cut this shit clean and move forward so I can stand in a brighter light. I think that this is a direct correlation with this invitation from the Chariot to better your life, to walk in a different, lighter space. Now, the next card is the Seven of Swords, and this has to do with your partner, how your partner's doing in this incarnation. This could indicate that this individual has a hard time trusting others, or that people have screwed this person over, you know, that this person is deceived in some way, where they can't always see clearly. Now, advice for you in this incarnation is the Queen of Cups. You have some deep work that you need to do. This deep work needs to go within. But it's also great healing work. So I think that it's all about releasing the stuff that no longer serves you, while loving yourself and working with this wonderful healing deep energy. And it's going to take some work. You're going to have to go really deep if you're working with this energy, but there's going to be a lot of love that's around you, and you will be able to move through it. Advice for your partner is the Four of Wands. This person has some solid relationships that are around this person, specifically you. And it's this foundation that he could step on. It's this foundation that will hold him and that he or she can continue to grow with in this life. So with that said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. Thanks, you guys.